over. There has been instances in Korea War. Some American soldiers died in 1950 somewhere. Recently, America did everything possible to ensure the remains of those soldiers of who were somewhere in 1950 were brought back to their family, just to give the family closure. That is what countries do. And in recent times, Africa, we've had instances in Middle East, and sometimes the treatment there are Ghanaians in Libya. Treatment very often the government has always been very reluctant in going to the aid of some of these people. Sometimes individuals quite a trouble because in the past we say Canada, Japan finance some of the ladies so for this time round the state realizing this particular danger where enemy now move in pooling resources together to bring these people back to Ghana. Actually say governance to certain extent has been taken to a different level where the average Ghanaian is being prioritized government. And quite recently I think one Ghanaian also caught up in Ukraine who the foreign minister or go all over to Ukraine to engage through a diplomatic channel just to ensure that these Ghanaians Russia enlisted them to go to the front lines to fight Ukraine capture this discussion went on some of these things currency you might not want to put a certain value on it, but actually governance centered or anchored on your friend say Nipan and Kasa welfare, and for me it's very 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 important. I say abaso and nowhere chief of staff and other dignitaries met them at the airport, gave them that welcome. Now actually say Ghana is indeed ready, but their integration to the society is maybe a interest because Nipan or mobile some were even though a voluntary evacuation and by force Ghana or South Africa be ambra. But why we are willing to come considering the situation because there is no indication that the South African government will do anything to stop this nonsense. It's going to reoccur every year. Yes. So more say the future there is very bleak for them. Decide that we will come home. So how do we integrate them into the society? Because said Mexican or prepared or some assistance be and I think a package was prepared for them. Government we don't know details need a womb, but I hope that particular package will be enough to set some of them up. Your friends are working idle. So be banner by working idle. In the next year you find them in another country because Obi why not just say to kwano. So when you are there sitting out Chrome here, the next time you find some of them in Kuwait, you find some of them in Egypt, I think that particular initiative, government will have to focus. Now, a gentleman who came back first and was lucky enough for Ibrahim Mahama just gave me a package and some incentive and I was setting up. And I'm not sure that everybody will have such opportunity. But the little ones now, a bit more integrity or some will have to go to even counseling. Then I said for by hand some of these things that we don't even prioritize. And then I said for because the horrific scene and then the torture. And then near my man for farm, I am near my one here, a big job psychologically. So I think that I am concerned about the economic welfare of these people, how they can be integrated, how economically we set it up. Back to South Africa. I think that South Africa said in a mistake no baby we are they are still stuck in the past, living in the 11th century kind of mindset and because baby we are ye ni ena manfo ababeje ya manya boso enti ordinary citizens no betia gukrom say yakobo amanfo apamamo purely barbaric primitive so primitive quite understatement. This is absolute nonsense. I need say a play. But this thing has been happening, reoccurring, and the South African government has done nothing about it because for the political cause, a war, because the impression is that as a buyer, they create a that is the impression they create. Now, Mona citizens are but these citizens in South Africa don't grant permission and visas to people to travel into the country. It's the same government, and there is no indication that migrants have taken over jobs in South Africa. Nigeria for Ghana for no mukono, ajuma do na averagely a tribo. and Nigeria for so to me be a supermarket. These are not jobs are buying a creative Ghana for akoteki. So even private sector mechanics, they are working based on the skill set that they have. You understand? So omo motehono no skills they don't even have. Some of them are so lazy to the extent that they are not ready to lift their finger to do anything. And yes, you will not be resourceful in any of the enterprises that has been set up. So the people no more being human or prefer hiring foreigners at your seat. I don't realize that also when the question says you found the work company mama skill set ben or whatever. There is absolutely nothing, you understand? So I think the South African government will have to sit their asses down and begin to realize we are seeing you can't even rely on your own people when it comes to say America is where it is today. Because from the beginning, they allowed in the finals from all countries, gave them a citizenship. And today, America has become the global star. I will be a person, and the individuals are more involved. Now, Donald Trump was president. He is not even an American.
I mean, Scottish.
Ne papa every Europe.
I think they are Scottish.
Yes, either Germany or
his father say German.
Exactly.
And I'm Scottish.
Obama by president from Kenya. Uko your friends England recently. There was this Indian guy who became a prime minister. And now uko UK Parliament and now. Abayiwa now is the leader for the Conservative, no? She's from Nigeria. You understand? So you must be dumb at this time of the world to think you're pushing everybody away. You look at how you bet me take advantage. So a man for Ukrum, now they have illegal permitter. It is the responsibility of the government to ensure you take them out, not an individual. And for me, it's very sickening because the role that African countries play in securing independence for South Africa. Almost Africa, country being independence, now South Africa was still choking under the weight of apartheid. It took, your friend is saying, consensus from among African nations. I built a strong front against this apartheid thing. I'm a man for a fight, and son of South Africa was finally liberated. The ANC, which is the political party leading South Africa, was nurtured outside South Africa. Among foreign normal finance countries like Zambia, countries like Ghana, countries like Nigeria, Sika the finance war just to ensure that we even give some of them opportunity to educate outside South Africa. Because now they were not even given the black opportunity to go to school. You understand? So with this particular history, you must be guided in the way I will treat others. But this thing has been playing out. Men can't say Nigeria niba ukrum or commit a crime. Watch on. Men can't say Ghana niba no permit. Watch on. But you see, there are appropriate ways to go about this, especially having this history at the back of your mind. But you sit and look for this nonsense to play out where people preach hate, and then as if one say they should go back to their country and fix their country. Who told you that South Africa is fixed? Because South Africa is fixed that. And you will not be fighting because I'm for taking Unyuma. Which means that the country itself is not fixed. They are foreigners living in their own country because the whites and the control South Africa businesses, everything. You understand? Leaving these black people who should rather be working with these people just to ensure what they deserve, they get. You are oblivious to this reality. Then you are fighting people coming in, bringing businesses, bringing money into your country to grow. It's totally primitive.
South Africa. Almost this boys and a control BBI of South Africa. I'm telling you, when it comes to businesses, one more the boys that is these Indians, few Chinese.
And the name of more sign implications. Nigeria can fight back. Ghana can fight back. Makato say MTN other businesses and Nigeria
Nigeria started.
Exactly. They can do the same. I mean, they are doing it. I think it's appropriate because you cannot be launching this nonsense of attack on people annually and begin to think, say, oh no, you have exclusive certain way be able to this nonsense and get away.
This gold fields or whatever.
Exactly. Recently, Ghana soldier for ball. Your friends are Ghana for two because almost one invade the site. But that is a South African company. But look at the nonsense that they are subjecting people to in this. So I think apart from this diplomatic arrangement that Ghana we've done to bring our people back home, no, I think the government will have to send a strong message to the South Africans, say, Omu monopoly over some of this nonsense, and that's Omu repeating some of these things because I'm not sure that every Ghanaian will come back home. This thing is going to play out next year, the following year, and the following year. As long as they continue to do this, it will get to the neck of Ghanaians. Manfor will start a reprisal attack, which may not be good for all of us, you understand? And this is a near my seeking to avoid. But it will get to a time if this nonsense continues, nobody can control. Nobody. Because individuals will begin to also do some of this.
Mobilize and do.
As I family, Nigeria, they have, and you have businesses. So it turned out that Obi a fighting we are. Do you think it will play out well? No. But I mean, I don't blame these narrow-minded individuals doing this nonsense. I blame the government. Because the government over the years has been aloof. They have never punished anybody.
It's politics.
Yes, they are incentivizing and motivating some of these narrow-minded individuals to go about unleashing terror and mayhem on foreigners. When the government is supposed to protect these people, you understand?
Yeah.
Make sure you do the necessary arrangement, get the person out. But you as a citizen, you know, now when I'm high, open what you now when we share Nigeria in your number, can you even ask the person's or document?
No. Immigration for
exactly. So the best you can do is to call migration and say, "Who Nigeria ni bi otia may suspect." That is the best you can do. You cannot confront the person. But these are people who have been allowed beating people and they are recording. You understand? Quite about 2 years ago, Omukobu Nigeria ni bi store gum and I know Musa look at how shameful it is. Exactly. So I'm on a crime there. I'm on in the coba. Crime ne prostitution. That is what they do best. You understand? And I think you must be damn to think say you can survive with some of these things because always and always there will be a pushback. It's unfortunate that our government over the years, you know, having been very frontal in dealing with some of these things. Because I think that time has come out. That's yes, send a strong warning to them because we rely on AU, rely on ECOWAS or other. These regional bodies, you know, over the years have proven to be very impotent, very inefficient. So you can't rely them to execute anything proper. It must be done through state to state. Your friends a level. Send them a strong message. You do this, we will make sure that we have say a baby almost answer. So I think so. Back in there. Yeah, making sure that their integration will be good. Now, or and apart from that particular place in Unsono, there are people who are also going through similar challenges. Our Middle East. Now, because I didn't remember Ghana and Yafa place or Middle East. They are Brabon now. Modern day slavery. And these are the ordeals young people are going through because if you know there's someone who deserve no corruption, you know, what they deserve, no, it's in the pocket of somebody.
Don't you think, Ivan, it is also the responsibility of government to also create jobs, enough jobs for the youth?
Oh yeah.
Say no, it's
very essential. Yes, because youth unemployment is very important, and then the fuel some of these things. Because some of the young ladies who go into some of these things, because and the sad aspect is that they don't even pay them well.
No, they don't pay.
There are some taken as low as 2,000 after traveling all the way. Now
yes,
they pay them as low as 3,000 Ghana cedis. Na nyuma mo ye enya de keto na officer adwuma okroma na sabe ye 2,000 kra obetu kwan. So I think say we need to prioritize youth unemployment. Now you making sure say employment opportunities will also be created for some of these people. But why I don't want to dwell on that point is that even say a nyuma busen kra na people will still travel.
Of course, yes.
And that does not give anybody the right to abuse anybody. No. Na say Ghana ha ye way. No. America for her. China is the second largest economy in the world. Chinese are over in Ghana. So among for to Ghana has nothing to do with whether there are job opportunities or not job opportunities. Oh yeah, they need to coin, and there are genuine those who also travel because of unemployment. So I think that in all these things, you know, we must begin to create job opportunities for young people. I bet me a grand more because obi or take Ghana all year Juma said be otiminya 5,000 and 4,000 all year grounded, you know, will not be going to some of these pitiful countries. They will live here, and the little contribution that they can also make to make this country grow. No, I think they will do. A priority as Ghana, Nico, Egypt. Now, besides, I will to Egypt. Because if it is about economic opportunity, you will not go. Yeah. There are some countries you don't go for economic opportunities. No. For instance, last time I catch Roby. The Padula said before my bag is all China said for economic opportunity. No, because that particular place, you know, I built for trade and commerce. Yeah. You cannot go there and say that is why you don't see a lot of people traveling to China to go and live there. They go there to do business. But places like America, you can go and have a better economic life. That is why people go there. Germany and co. So if you don't see these dynamics, now if you say you are just traveling for traveling sake, some of the countries are not built for your friends are all call for prosperity. Over 10 years, what I say. Yeah. So I think that we must begin to understand these dynamics. But I commend government for this bold initiative because sadly, my way and over the years, you will always be ready to ensure, say, when the people are in low spirit, when the people are down, when the people become impoverished, when people become vulnerable, they will have a government to rely. Our government, you know, will intercede on their behalf. And then the governance, and I think I commend the president for doing that.
All right. My share, I don't know if do you believe in this delegate system when it comes to politics? Because there was a case with Supreme Court, and Attorney General back Supreme Court case seeking to end party delegate system.
Yeah, but before I buy no, so my men can't other more the issue no the
buy. From Pong.
Yes.
Na arrest no.
Who said the last time better I am a catcher say when the FBI come calling and your joke. The FBI and your investigation and their chin ya na ya ba betamo. Then now my catcher so we hwe mu no kwasa anya wa sorry. No. The FBI, when it comes to some of this fraud, your friend is saying money laundering kind of investigation that they launch now, they have a department that is dedicated solely for some of these things. They have time, pressure being your muscle. It doesn't change their methodology, their timelines, everything. When it comes to some of these things. So the very moment they move in on an individual, what it means is that you circulate the extent of your involvement. But the last time I catch it said, what they do is that post 2001, your friend is saying bombing in America, no? They've been very much concerned about terrorism financing, this jihadist kind of way, and other stuff. So whenever monies are being moved around that, US might want to follow the money and see where the money is going, who and who is involved, whether the money is going into terrorism financing, going to a certain jihadist group, going to this, and I say a human trafficking network. Okay. They want to understand the scope of the network. So you might be pulling out dollars, but what is our smart? Free baby, but you are dumb enough to understand the financial system and we are saying the shift financial way it was built by America. Every single dollar that moves through this system is tracked. That is why IMF and other Bretton Woods institution can sit somewhere at the end of the year. They can tell us how much dollars came into Ghana, because the financial system they can track everything. So you must be an idiot to think that America now what for Sikano Abagana Aje Aquajino Bank at show bottom and nobody will find out. You must be dumb. The mere fact that move on you doesn't mean say we are smart and some of these guys are so damn enough. So when you Sikana, the way they even spend it, throwing about and then as a foreign man are also because FBI, my catch up for say they are not living in America. They are here right here with us. Exactly, because Ghana is full of foreign intelligence services agents all over, and they know everything.
In fact, they are here with us.
So move on you, now they have way. So the very moment the gentleman was mentioned, I said to myself, then we are in danger because it might not be me. That I'm a catcher man for say I like his politics. Ever since Obriki into your political scene, you know, the gentleman has done a lot of good things. The constituency has been advocating for young people and is very vocal on social media. In fact, we're bringing certain modernity to politics. I'm a politics. I fair, I there. I want the constituency. A lot of development or champion for a man for. But in the past life before politics, you know, me name also with name.
Yeah.
And maybe that is where this whole thing is. And at the early stages, you know, just your friend is saying accusation, allegation, alleged against him. Our investigations ongoing until proven guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction. Some of sitting here, I can't pronounce him guilty. But I'm doing this general analysis just to let people know, sir. In recent times, you know, Ghana, Nigeria has been on the radar of the FBI, the offense fraud list. First in Nigeria, Ghana has been added to that particular list, and there are the syndicate running around there, Ghana, Nigeria related. But
Nigeria found the yes, and so I be show my what Ghana here?
Yes, and you know, sir, and I make us some of this money no move no. A network, one person cannot move. A syndicate, and there are Ghanaians living in the USA. Involved, and the funny aspect is that some of the guys who are being mentioned are not directly involved in the scam.
Okay.
But you see, last in America, some musicians have gotten themselves involved. Some big pastors have gotten themselves involved because they have the clout. Some have foreign accounts and as for nipa no ba approach you so me person meji me sika bi from way o account my main from mama say and I'm also we greedy intino. You will not even ask questions. Then the person will put the money into your account. Now what share amount. You are implicating yourself because sika $200,000 if I will be account and we move $50,000 amount. It means you are part of the whole bit. You understand? So a lot of people have gotten themselves into some of these things. But the US today is being smart because there are a lot of guys in Ghana now. They can't even travel because the very moment you travel, they will pick you because Abu Trika case now the intricacies involved, the back and forth. Say the next move, say they will not come here for the MP. He has diplomatic immunity. He has what we call the offense a parliamentary shield. And so Abu Trika, ordinary person, you know. US for bus on Befan, you see the trouble. So they will never move in say on Befa MP or Kroma. So on Utua, then over there is no those immunity in and I think that is a strategy that they are adopting. So there are a lot of people who may travel and may not come back if you are involved or you are on the list of these people then because they realize they're going through this whole Herculean process of going through court indictment. There is this a sentiment among young people say I didn't this kind of dynamics will not let the FBI come here say before be so now over here be too they didn't know said they were traveling into their own prison way. The very moment they landed, none of them found. That is what is going to happen because over there, no, you will not have the luxury of they call court because why repatriate you when they call. So I think say Sanyama where air costing a indictment on us as people because what we say at the end the basic will come her Sikabet member to be account money panel on ton Kobe on ton money on ton cement. Now Sika almost $300,000 on account na state na clear say it means the state itself is culpable. You understand? So you cannot blame anybody because in any responsible country when certain amount of money drop it into your account, you should be able to answer for these things. But you are creating enough room for some of these things to happen. And the USA will not trust the government of the day because we have built the systems and the structures in such a way say now you think that they will engage you. No, even if they will engage you, it will be at a limited level. That is why this MP was perceived to be, at least there should have been some discussion then as a forum. But I think even if there was a discussion, it will be limited. But many sure say na you could him say or kwa bontia mo kwa kwache no e bia kwa nkomo notify na say for not. So I think say as a state realizing this we must begin to do things right. Now you make sure say certain stringent financial measures will be taken just to ensure say some of these things on our own no you bet me aye answer. Yes, I lose credibility. Because a time will come we are Ghana near now we to kwanya the omodi Nigeria for farm no omodi ever the same thing. Because when you are branded as fraudulent kind of way, among for who too, you might go in to do genuine business, but people will not trust you. Understand? So on this MP case, initially now man for you or bow, but it has been almost how many ways? Almost 3 weeks.
But probably so continue social media. And who say or no Kwame. Okay. Say Kwame from Pona Kasa. I don't know.
No, I think they're very old video. I think they're old video. Yeah, because I think they initially he went back to UK. Okay. And according to sources, I think so on the area any issues my be police case my by social media so watching. Okay. Then I think he did a video say that video, so I think it is that video that people are playing today. Okay. So but this is a different issue altogether. Okay. And I think we need to follow. I don't want your friends say they are watching coffee bed hanging Ghana for coma sitting MP you know or boko don't come me ewa brochire.
Now for over 10 years before they go.
You see, because we are smarter. You can't just arrest an individual. Arresting an individual will not stop the flow of whatever illicit trade the person is doing. So you put monitors on that person, and then you see on your sikana when the point of contact near when sikana or tonwa hen or defa then as you need to understand the network and sana be move in and move in because you are kwani some of these people they don't even talk. But fortunately Ghana for no more and I think that some of them were singing like bird. And the amount so sometimes most of the information we here to indict some of these people, the witnesses, everything, quite clear and it's easy to prosecute because there is nobody on modern half and ready. And I never say there are a lot of Ghanaians living in the USA who are now in jail because of some of these things. About 20 people. Ghana for America, they have been prosecuted and all of them have been jailed. Some are on probation, some were given limited sentences and so forth. But because they are not in Ghana, you don't hear some of these things. So it's an ongoing kind of way. The very moment your name is mentioned, it means, sir, you will need to do something just to ensure, so for me, I think, sir, I'm quite scared. I like the gentleman, I like the way he does his politics. Me say, the political life in the minimum. Ever since that transition year, but yanso as a minor, the bia me can say adufudie na ekuyan. Politics na ye kwabrane bi timi ko village baby. Oh mabubu ma Sunday nyina me sine foforo. Oh school e ho nyina mabubu me sine foforo. Kwabrane ntena se nwini hu se hefa na sika no fura o de ba. Ye de anasa ye je na maya sanla ye kwakoje. That is what we are interested in. Where the monies are coming from, we don't check. You understand? So in recent times, so we hear politics here, who was kind of from automatically there, you win your seat and go. This money is where are they coming from? So these are lessons that we need to learn that going forward, I see a den share and near Maguha. Sika Frabontin, Eba Krum Haseno, man for the politics, not just politics, but other businesses as well. We must begin to vet and know where those monies are coming from. Because if you're not careful, somebody may go for drug barons' money to come and run campaign here. In Colombia. We still remember what is happening in Mexico quite recently, El Chapo and in the days, how they were able to infiltrate the political machinery in Mexico. We used to find out this drug trade as a phenomenon. If you are not careful, we may slip into some of these things. So I think that coming back to the state, the measures that we can put in place to ensure that some of these things, a prevent it. Now, Parliament, and so at their level, at the diplomatic level, they need to engage us to ensure, Brandt here not innocent. Parliament must fight a cause and get him back. But dealing with the USA and the FBI is a different ball game altogether. I can't just say Blatter no untouchable. No, be a to be Unsanko Canada there. But when the FBI went calling, they drag him on the floor and they say Blatter, you have a distance memory in our head. The very moment they move on you and they have credible intel, say indeed you are responsible, there are evidence to back say you are involved
Ambrani ye juma.
No. And to say ha obenya software and wa boka sokwa no partner or bobi pono ko pacho. Ahemfo, that is what they do in this particular country. It's the reason why this nonsense keep playing out. I'm sure say the due process will happen. If he's innocent, he will come back and continue. But if he's not, then I think we should be preparing for by-election.
All right. So let's do one story here and we go. Attorney General backs Supreme Court case seeking to end party delegate system. We either do that or we do Bank of Ghana, that's BOG, direct MTN to suspend Momo to bank account charges.
Yes, I think the AG issue now court no. I think on several platforms, I say your political system the weakest link just delegate system. I say some corrupt way be and man for use as an opportunity to solicit and then just solicit Kurano the almost extorting money
to from siphon money
exactly possible candidate baby and to say all the brilliant ideas, you have the ingenuity, everything to lead your political party. Bench.
But Ivan, assuming without admitting, say if the court rules crash or the court comes out say, okay, there's never going to be any delegates, but send the pounds on a trouble.
Oh no, even this particular court thing, I think you see. We can come out with I think Parliament can cure this thing better than your father said than court. But I don't see how court is going to dictate to a political party what they should do when it comes to electing a flag bearer. No, I think we see a political party Parliament has that particular power. Our them certain basic guidelines that we need to go through.